A man from the shadows. It was 3:01 a.m., November 15th, 1966. On a road like many others in the region, the cold air of a later fall was pervasive, and the leaves were just beginning to turn a color in earnest. Although at this hour, the witching hour, the only colors that littered the ground were the grays and blacks, and the soft glow of a small town not too far off in the distance touched them not. At this hour, the witching hour, shadows flooded every square inch of this road, and from these shadows the shape of a man began to emerge. To any average bystander, this man enveloped in the shadows would just be out of sight, but the click-clack of his dress shoes on the asphalt could still be heard clearly through the crisp air. To the keen observer, the trees and bushes on either side of the road were filled with creatures sitting, watching, and waiting. These observing eyes, only briefly noticeable to a normal person from the corner of their own, held both intelligence and fear, for they knew this man and what his arrival meant. The man from the shadows walked several paces and then stopped, and the trees on either side of the road and the air itself seemed to stop with him. Invisible to most, but most likely felt down the spine of every living creature within a 10-mile radius, an unnaturally large smile peeled across the man's face. His eyes began to glow that in no way illuminated the shadows before him. In fact, the shadows themselves seemed to grow darker. They appeared instead as two ghost lights, suspended just 6 or 7 feet above the road, looking to guide unwary drivers to their doom. Slowly, but with the confidence as though he had all the time in the world, the man raised an arm to the fall sky and peered at the stars from between outstretched fingers. With a voice like leaves that trembled and scraped across the pavement at his feet, the man spoke through sharpened teeth.
The same stars. Not too long then. Roughly 1,000 years.
The space immediately around the man's arm then appeared to flex or bend for a brief moment, and the air just above his outstretched hand rippled as though there was a fine film resting on top of it, oily and slick to the touch and distorting the brilliance of the stars he was looking at. Then, with a chuckle that could wither spring's flowers,
I think it's almost time. The veil is thinner here. Wouldn't you agree, old friend?
The man's ghost-lit eyes shifted from the stars above to look at 2 red glowing orbs, the size of car headlights, resting atop a large tree on the side of the road. These red eyes held a certain wicked intelligence, but no sign of the fear present in the other observers closer to the ground. Spilling from these eyes was a heavy shadow, extending to the road and outward into the sky like 2 colossal wings. Indrid Cold's unnaturally large smile peeled back even farther.
Tell me what you see, old friend. Tell me the future. Tell me what you see, and I will do my great work.
The man from the shadows continued down the road, skipping occasionally. As he passed a battered road sign that said, "Welcome to Point Pleasant," the man from the shadows began to whistle a merry tune.